Hi guys, hope you're doing well. This is gonna be the second installment of the tutorial series. Um, yeah, this video is going to be another rig. I'll be tying a Ronnie rig or a spinner rig, whichever way or name you prefer, but that's the names I know it is. So yeah, I'll walk you guys through what you need to actually tie the rig and some tips and tricks on how to use the rig, because I've used it quite a bit and there are some disadvantages and advantages, but a lot of advantages, hence why I'm doing a video on it. And yeah guys, also if you are interested, I am doing a giveaway. I'll link it over here in the corner. You'll see like a link there, just click it, there'll be details how to enter the giveaway. And yeah, cheers. This is what you are going to need to build a Ronnie rig, or otherwise known as a spinner rig. So first off, we're going to need a stuffed boom material, as you can see here, and then after that we are going to need a hook eye like a size 4, and then we're going to need some rig pulling tools just to tighten our knots, a set of scissors to cut the line at the preferred length, and then moving on to the smaller little bits, we're going to need a kicker. I'm using a pink kicker just for visual aid. So as you can see there, I'm not sure what size it is, but pretty much any kicker should be good. We're going to need a micro rig ring swivel that can go on your hook where you can mount your bait, an anti-tangle sleeve, a spinner swivel to mount your hook on and your rest of your Ronnie rig, and then a micro bead to go onto your hook to keep your micro rig ring swivel from slipping off your hook. Alright, so let's get started on how to tie the Ronnie rig. Okay, so taking your boom, I like to measure about 25 centimeters. I'm not sure how much inches, but 25 centimeters on my measuring table on my tackle box. Once I'm happy with that length, I'm going to take my scissor, I'm going to cut it over there. So that will make up my boom section. So from there we are going to move on to, okay, we're moving on to the tying of the knot. So we're gonna take our spinner swivel, we're gonna put our line through it on one end, and then from there we are going to pull an extra section, take the section that's the shortest, and then wrap it around the longer section about 6 times. We are going to do a half blood knot, so we're gonna wrap it around 6 or 5 times. It obviously depends on how thick your line is. So once we've wrapped it around 6 times, you're gonna put it through the little loop that it creates near the swivel, and then once you get to that point, just lick the line just to moisturize it. It's gonna make tying the knot a little bit easier. As you can see, I'm still struggling to tie it, and then you can either use a plier or your teeth to just gently pull the knot closer or tighter. You don't have to pull it all the way tight, because you're going to use the hook pulling or the rig pulling tools to tighten your knots down, so you don't have to pull it too tight. Once you're happy with the knot there and it's not gonna slip out, we're gonna take the opposite end. Now we're just gonna create the same loop, sort of like folding it on itself, and then we're gonna make an overhand knot. This is where you'll put your anti-tangle sleeve and mount the rig onto your lead clip. So as you can see there, I made an overhand knot, and then I'm pulling it slowly tight to itself. And then once I'm happy with that, I will take my rig pulling tools, loop the one section into the swivel, and then the other section into the loop I created with the overhand knot, and then pull it tight to make sure that my knots are tied properly and they won't slip in the event that I hook a fish and it pulls too hard. So yeah, so once we are done with that, I'm just going to take my scissor and then just trim the tag ends just so that it doesn't cause any issues and it's not in the way. So I'm gonna cut it by the swivel, and then as well at the overhand knot that I just tied. And then once I'm done with that, I am going to take a hook out of the bag, and then once I get the hook out, I am going to take a kicker. As you can see, the pink one over there, I'm going to take the kicker and then I'm gonna slip it onto my hook from the pointed end, and then from there I am going to take the micro rig ring swivel, slip it onto the hook as well. Once that is on, I'm going to take the micro bead, and then also slip that onto the hook. It is gonna be a bit tough to put it over, but just gently press it so that you don't break the bead. And then once all of that is on, you're just gonna take the hook on the eye section. You're gonna hook that onto the spinner swivel, and then once that's on the spinner swivel, you are going to take the pink kicker and then gently slide it over the spinner swivel section so that it prevents your hook from slipping off the swivel. And then that's pretty much the spinner or Ronnie section built. From there we're gonna take our anti-tangle sleeve and then slip it onto the other section where we tied the overhand knot, and just like that you build a Ronnie rig. Cool. Yeah, just gonna talk about the advantages and disadvantages of the Ronnie rig. I'll show you a few fish that I actually landed on that rig. If you did check my Bergsig vlog, also most of my fish there landed on that rig. So it should pop up here, and here, over here. So the disadvantages and advantages of the rig. So one thing I like about the rig is its versatility, as opposed to the multi-combi rig. You can only fish a bottom bait. I know people that have fished a pop-up on it, but I've never personally tried it and had success on a multi-combi rig. So what a Ronnie rig is, it's very versatile. You can fish a bottom bait, you can fish a critically balanced bait, you can fish a wafter. Doesn't really matter, the options are endless. And then what I would also say is an advantage is the easy building capacity of it. What I mean is it's very simple to build. It's not so complicated like the multi-combi rig. Obviously that knot between the soft section of the subtle braid and the stuff boom, it's easily you can easily mess it up. So that's where I'd say it's easier. And then a nice thing, it's a straight stuff boom, or the one that I build is a stuff boom, which means it's always gonna kick away from the lead, thus giving you a quicker and better hook hold capability. The one disadvantage of the Ronnie rig, I will say, is when you catch a fish, to change the hook is a bit of a a headache to change. Reason being, to take off the hook off that hook swivel, the spinner swivel, you need to slip up the kicker and then also your hook bead. 9 times out of 10, if you're fishing a hook with a barb, you can't change the bead because the barb is gonna break that bead. So you need to use another one or find another one to replace it. So that's a bit of an effort. So yeah, that's the advantages and disadvantages really. I'd say it's just more frustrating as opposed to the multi-combi rig. You can just slip the D section over the hook. The hook comes out, you replace the hook, and then you back fishing again. That's why I prefer it, but I do use both. They both work. It's just you need to choose which one's easier for you. So yeah, hope that helps. Cheers.